Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the velvet curtain to look at a level of wealth that is, frankly, just hard to wrap your head around. We are diving into the mind-boggling scale of fortunes held by the young billionaire heirs of Dubai and Qatar. We're talking about individuals whose personal piggy banks are literally bigger than the GDP of some small countries. So let's jump right into a world where luxury absolutely knows no limits.
Section 1. The Ultimate Teenage Piggy Bank.
So, you know how a typical teen's morning goes, right? You're stressing out over a math test, maybe arguing with your siblings about whose turn it is to take out the trash. Well, over in Dubai, it's a completely different universe. While most kids are doing chores, these heirs have a full staff on standby. A morning request sounds a lot less like, "Hey mom, where are my shoes?" and a lot more like, "Geez, can you do my homework and fetch me a milkshake? And, make sure it's the imported Belgian chocolate this time." And if they happen to need an allowance, they might just ask their dad for some cash, and the answer could very well be, "Sure, how about a gold bar this week?"
There's this quote that just perfectly hits the nail on the head when it comes to this lifestyle. It's about Rashid Belhassa. You might actually know him from social media as Money Kicks. It goes, if you ever mention the word "we're on budget," he'd assume you're speaking of some champagne. To Rashid, whose dad is a massive construction magnate in Dubai, a budget is literally a foreign concept. I mean, how do you even tell someone they're on a budget when they could just buy the entire store and everything inside it?
Section 2. Supercars and private jets.
All right, so how do these kids actually get around? Well, spoiler alert, they are definitely not taking the bus. The sheer scale of customization in their garages is insane. Take Rashid Belhassa's inventory. We're looking at a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta worth nearly $320,000, which he got for his birthday and immediately had wrapped in a Louis Vuitton print. He's got a Cadillac Escalade wrapped in a Yeezy print and a $311,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost wrapped in Dior logos. But here is the craziest part of all of this. He got some of these, like that Ferrari, when he was only 15 years old. He literally couldn't even legally drive them on the street yet, and he's far from the only one. You've got heirs like Marwan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum sitting on a personal car collection valued at over $10 million, just packed with Bugattis and Lamborghinis. A morning school run in Dubai basically involves more horsepower than a Formula One race.
And of course, taking to the skies is just as wild. When Rashid flew to Los Angeles at age 15, he casually dropped $3,000 on a first-class Emirates ticket, getting his own private suite with a minibar and a chair that transforms into a bed. Over in Qatar, you have heirs like Zaid Al Thani. His childhood extracurriculars weren't exactly soccer practice or piano lessons. No, he was taking helicopter piloting lessons before he was even old enough to get a driver's permit.
Section 3. Mansions across the globe.
So they've got the supercars, they've got the choppers, but where do they park them? These aren't just local homeowners. They manage sprawling, global real estate portfolios. And this is crucial because it establishes their presence in major financial hubs all over the world, not just the Middle East. Marwan has the $7 million waterfront villa complete with 3 fountains. Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, he doesn't just have a Dubai mansion with a private helipad, he also keeps a beachfront place in Malibu and a penthouse in New York City. Zaya Al Thani splits his time between Doha, a London penthouse, and a villa in the south of France. And then there's Sheikh Abdullah, living in Emirates Hills, a neighborhood where the average price tag is over $500,000 per square meter.
Actually, this taste for absolute premium real estate, it starts right in the playroom. Just look at Princess Aya of the UAE. While normal kids were playing with plastic dollhouses, it's reported she was playing with life-size dollhouses featuring actual, real marble floors. Add in massive drone collections and drivable electric mini versions of her parents' supercars, and you can see how an expectation of total luxury is just baked in from day one.
Section 4. Private zoos and unique collectibles.
Okay, let's move on to the truly absurd purchases. The stuff that proves the sky isn't even the limit here. 500. Just take a quick second and guess what that number represents. Cars? Watches? No way. 500 is the number of exotic animals living in Rashid Belhassa's backyard private zoo. We are talking lions, tigers, giraffes. He's got a lion named VA, orangutans named Gucci and Dior, and giraffes named Bert and Ernie. It's such a wild setup that massive celebrities like Jackie Chan, Mariah Carey, and Floyd Mayweather specifically visit his house just to see it.
Now, the financial reality of keeping 500 exotic animals fed and housed is honestly hard to fathom. But let's put it into perspective. A major public facility like the Toronto Zoo costs roughly $93 million to build in today's money, and their annual feeding costs are over $710,000. Even just building a tiny standard petting zoo can cost 50 grand. The Billhossa family's private zoo costs are kept under wraps, but based on these public benchmarks, the investment required to build and maintain a habitat for hundreds of apex predators is nothing short of astronomical.
And the spending definitely doesn't stop at the animal kingdom. Rashid has a sneaker collection worth over $1 million, featuring the ultra-rare Nike Air Yeezy 2 Red Octobers. He also owns the world's most expensive perfume, valued at nearly $1.3 million and covered in exactly 3,571 diamonds. Oh, and when he decided to make his boxing debut, he didn't just grab a standard piece of plastic. He dropped $50,000 on an 18-karat gold diamond-encrusted mouthguard. And we can't forget the watches. Heirs like Abdullah and Saeed collect Patek Philippe's Grand Complications, which run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars each.
Section 5. The Boardroom Billionaires.
Now, it would be super easy to look at the diamond mouth cards in the private zoos and just write these heirs off as kids with too much cash. But that would be a massive mistake. Enter what we're calling the boardroom heir. These individuals take that immense inherited wealth, combine it with world-class education, and step straight into incredibly powerful executive roles. They're out there actively governing global investments, shaping state economies, and pulling the levers of modern global finance.
Just look at their professional trajectories for a second. Marwan, the 23-year-old with the Bugattis we talked about earlier, he is the vice chairman of Shua Capital and holds a 25% ownership stake. Saeed bin Bouti Al Maktoum served as CEO and chairman of the Dubai Health Authority, plus vice chairman of Abdul Latif Jameel Holding. Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum grew his personal wealth from $1 billion to over $19.1 billion through massive tech investments. And in Qatar, Sheikh Mohammed is the deputy chairman of the Qatar Investment Authority, dictating major financial moves on a global scale. They aren't just playing around, they are running the show.
And this power structure absolutely includes the female heirs of these royal families, too. Princess Saya, who had the marble dollhouses as a kid, went on to study at Oxford and NYU, arming herself with a rigorous global perspective while sitting on a fortune of up to $600 million. Over in Qatar, Manal Al-Thani, who is educated at North Carolina State University, is a board member for prestigious groups like the Museum of Islamic Art and holds an estimated fortune of over $1 billion. They seamlessly combine this extreme wealth with top-tier education to command serious influence across the region.
Section 6. The Future of Global Wealth.
So how does this all build a bridge between the deep history of the Middle East and the future of the global economy? We are essentially watching a highly successful three-step playbook unfold. Step 1. Inherit traditional royal wealth. That's the money that buys the private zoos and the diamond perfume. Step 2. Acquire an elite, rigorous education from institutions like Oxford or Harvard. And Step 3. Return home to command modern global enterprises. They are perfectly merging their traditional family lineage with a very sharp, globalized entrepreneurial spirit.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to wrap up this explainer. As these young heirs transition from showing off gold wraps on their Ferraris to taking the helm of multi-billion-dollar state investment funds, they quite literally hold the keys to the future. How exactly is this new, hyper-educated, ultra-wealthy generation going to reshape the Middle East's economic landscape in the decades to come? It's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this incredible data. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.